It was one of those Saturdays at the end of January, and January had been a bit of a strange month anyway, with the weather, the elections, and I'd not been out much. We'd had rain on the Saturday morning, and I thought to myself, another day I'm not going to get out. And then suddenly after lunch, the weather cleared. So what do? The great thing about Uganda is when the sun eventually comes out, the ground dries very quickly. So I thought to myself, do you know what, let's just get out for that go-to ride. Everybody has a go-to ride, and mine is to this place called Garuga, which is a very good quality tarmac road going down to the tip of a peninsula. And it's one of those roads that once you're off the main road, you can just sit back, relax, enjoy the gentle bends in the road, and take yourself down to the tip of the peninsula and have a view of Lake Victoria. I brought the cameras along with me for the ride, but really had no idea about any subjects or anything to say while I was on the ride. But this truck full of jackfruit had reminded me about a video that I'd just been watching that particular morning from a good friend of mine called the Wiltshireman. Wiltshireman's channel is described as a variety channel, and you'll find many videos of him cycling, motorcycling, camping, in nature, bushcraft, and he's also an amateur radio man. It's a great channel to watch, and I would encourage you to check it out if you're not already subscribed. One of his recent videos, however, caught my eye because he was talking about the difference between fresh food and processed foods. And as a Brit living in Uganda, I can totally appreciate the differences between what you buy in the supermarket and what is available at the fresh food markets. But more of that in just a while. So here we are on the Garuga Road, and I'm just stopping off at a daily market. There are two types here, the daily markets and the pop-up markets. This one, as you can see, is selling a variety of local produce. Here's a lady even peeling beans. It's bean season at the moment. Some matoki for sale at the end of the line, and even ahead there is a mobile trader in a truck who is selling fresh pineapples. So as I continue my ride, I'm going to take you back home just for a couple of minutes. Enjoy. So we've had a delivery from our farm up country this morning. Let's go and have a look, see what they delivered to us today. Okay, so this is a staple here in Uganda. This is matoki. The cat's very interested. Benny, you like matoki? And this one is what's known as an ash banana. It's a sweet banana, but you actually steam it. so that's good. And a pumpkin. We'll come back in a second and I'll show you how I split the motoki up into hands. We've got some avocados, 4 avocados now, the size of that in my hand. That's gonna be a lovely ripe avocado in. Yep, the stone's rattling inside, so I reckon about 2-3 more days. That one is turning already, so I think that one's going to be about 1 to 2 days, and we'll be able to eat that one. And something slightly unusual is a cocoa. For those of you who know, that the cocoa seed inside is what's used to make chocolate. I'm not sure what we'll do with it here though. Maybe I'll come back to that one later. Another type of banana here, this one is called a gonja. And if I just take you into the kitchen, my wife prepared some this morning. Count again. Yeah, so we basically deep fry these into chips or slices. If you slice them very thinly, they'll turn into a crisp, but this is a softer chip. Bit softer, but great snack. So I'm going to take this time to split the motoki down now. What you need is a very, very old sharp knife, and the reason for that is that fresh motoki has a lot of sap which comes out. You have to be really careful with your clothes. Let's put this down here so you can see. So I'm just going to stab down at the first hand. You can see the sap coming out from it already, so you have to be careful not to get that on your clothes. It will never come out. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So once you have the knife cuts in there, you can basically push that, and there you have a hand of motoki, and then you just continue all the way down until you reach the end. What I do now is I just leave them on the ground in the shade to let all of this sap fall to the ground. You can see how sticky my hands are, and I was just trying to be careful there. You can see the sap falling now, and there's one more banana I'll show you in progress. See my bananas beginning to form. It's not a great bunch there. You can see the flower on the end, and then when the flower sheds its leaves, that's when the bananas start to form. But I think the soil is not great here, so it's not going to produce a large banana. Like this one is going to be a yellow sweet banana. I'm growing yams. These have been in for a couple of years now, so they're probably ready to be dug up. There's 2 types of yams. There's yams that grow here higher up, and the yams that grow in the swamp areas. Even a cheeky tomato plant there that's come up from nowhere. Alright, you're watering my garden. So to my friend Sandy, the Wiltshire man, I hope you enjoyed that small interlude there. My wife's often asked if her husband, who's a Brit, does he actually eat the local food here? And yes, the local food is quite tasty, and with all of the fresh food that's available, you should never miss the opportunity to take advantage of it. I enjoy it very much. As I am also enjoying the bimble along the Garuga road this afternoon. As you can see, the surface is fantastic, and it's about 5 to 10 kilometers from the main road to the end of the tarmac, which we're coming to quite soon. There is a small village I enjoy visiting here, and a little bit of an off-road trail which I like to do occasionally, but more of that in just a while. We're coming to the end of the tarmac now, and I'm going to take a break, take on a little bit of water as the temperature has really risen now with the sun out, but also take this time to show you something which is quite unique to the African style of motorcycling. Actually, while I'm taking a break, I want to show you something. So the winner of my unusual things to carry on a boda boda was actually from earlier this morning, where my own boda boda guy, Chizza, brought some goods home from my wife's fashion store, and it was the most amusing thing I've ever seen. So let me show you a picture of that now. So apart from the amusing sight of 4 mannequins tied to the back of the motorbike, wondered if you noticed what they were tied on the back with, and I've actually got something here myself which is similar. Let me just get it out for you. So here it is. This is very common for use with the boda boda guys here in Uganda, and it's simply this. It's a motorcycle inner tube, and it has the elasticity and the strength to actually carry anything. You saw on the way here there was a couple of guys carrying even sofas on the back, and that would have been tied down with that. So I took my inner tube, just gradually cut a 1.5 inch strip, cut off the valve, and I have now ready-made straps for carrying anything I want in Uganda. And I have to admit, it's a lot stronger than what I brought from UK. Onwards and upwards. So this next part of the ride I don't always do. I save this one for the better weather for obvious reasons. But there is a road here which takes us up to the Garuga beach resort. Now, I can never understand why this road is so bad when there is a hotel beach complex at the end, but people struggle through with their cars and motorbikes. But just to give you a little taste of the challenge it is to get to this place. The views, however, once you get to the top are fantastic, and you can see Lake Victoria in the distance. There's a forest off to my right, and occasionally in this area you can see the vervet monkeys crossing the road. But not today.
but I don't trust myself. These roads are so bad. Sorry.
Let's just say there's a lot of back braking going on down these hills. And a lot of first gear going up. Well, if nothing else, that's good practice for my riding skills. So we're going to head off now, but before we do, we're just going to call in at one more place. Just after the tarmac starts again, I'm going to take a right turning and head towards the small fishing village of Entebbe. I'm always conscious of riding through these areas. These are certainly not tourist areas. These are villages where people live and work, where they make their livings. But this is raw. This is how life is outside of the cosmopolitan areas of Kampala and Entebbe. But at the end of the day, and from my point of view, the Brit living in Uganda, who can not love this view? You can see why it's my go-to place. So not just a fishing village, this is an important port for taking goods to the local islands. There's charcoal on the left. People are loading up the small boats. On the right, there's some new outboard motors there, ready to be loaded on. Just past the matatu. New mattresses. Maybe it's the new school term starting, so these are for children who will be attending their boarding schools. Anyway, it's time to leave Entebbe and slowly make my way home. And a last minute look off to my left now, as there is a lady who is frying fish, probably tilapia. I noticed on the way in there were a couple of guys on bodabodas that looked like they were in trouble, so I'm just going to pull over and do the decent thing and ask if everything's okay and if I can help in any way.
You okay, Bob? You okay? Okay. Get the tire, pump on the tire.
It looked like there was a problem with the back wheel, maybe a puncture or something like that, but they said that help was on the way, so I make my way towards the very dark clouds ahead of me.
The sky is looking very black ahead, so I think I'm going to wind up the video now. It's about a 20-25 minute ride now to get home. Don't forget to like the video if you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. My name is Bluebird. I'm a Brit living in Uganda. Thanks for watching.